Good evening, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk 194. As per usual, if you want a guaranteed answer to your topic and your question, super chats are open. Also, like and subscribe if you haven't yet already. Subscribing is free, but it helps out a lot. Same for the likes. Do I have something else? Oh, I'll have a skinny play link for you guys because it's still the buy two and get 10% off, and we still have to find a way to get Willie's face on an A9.
No, we're not doing any of that shit.
Okay, then we'll do Eric's face. That's fine too.
That's right. Eric's all excited about it. Good for you, but
it would be fun to make me as a wheelchair when I like leaning on the side or something, that you, depending on how you place the covers, if I'm doing a wheelie or not.
That'd be funny.
That'd be funny.
So,
man.
How's everybody been? Willie, you're in a mess, it seems, so you must be good.
It's a mess, and I never would have thought in my entire life that I would ever turn down to be in opposition, because I had turned down Phoenix and I accepted the Florida's tech position. So I am the office is for lack of better words, a fucking mess at this point. It's my packing facility or staging facility for packing.
It kind of the worst thing when you are in between places, that you're packing everything, but yet you have nothing to unpack. So yeah, it's
just like you're just stacking stuff in, right? And I don't have crap lighting over here now because I have a project that I'm working. I'm finishing the theater on Tuesday and Wednesday. Was basically doing just finishing the big theater job and the gym job, soldering all week, and all of my lights are in the theater because it's a cool ass theater, man. But there is no way you can take a picture of it to justify like what you see with your own eyes, because they use the fucking charcoal paint or whatever, like that super black shit.
Yeah.
So that's the front wall, and then all the way around is like dark black fabric with silver line finish to it. It looks sweet. But yeah, so all my Milwaukee lights are there because I was installing speakers in the ceiling and soldering all the cables and shit. And you just cannot see, like it just sucks all the light out immediately. Like it literally is just like sucking it out of the flashlight. It's
Didn't
weird.
you see that the BMW or the BMW that was painted in the ultra, like the
the ultra black. Yeah.
It absorbed all. Yeah, you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, it's the most difficult conditions to work in when you like, and there's a lot of light, but there's not enough. But anyways, so that's all done. And yeah, I turned down Phoenix, unfortunately, and picked up on the Florida. He finally got back to me on Thursday and just said, "Yeah, let's do it." So, Florida, here I come. Here comes me.
What's the tapping in your bloody mic? Every time you move or talk, I hear like somebody's.
Oh, so it's not just me; it crackles for some reason. I'm gonna restart my shizzle. I'm gonna mute this, and you guys go ahead and continue. And I'm gonna restart my bloody headphones because it was crackling all the time, like before even. Okay.
Yeah. How's you doing, Michael?
Yeah, I'm good. I bought some of these. So,
I recognize those.
Yeah, I mean it's a simple enough system with a wall plate and you hang them, and so I can hang one of them. That one, the wall isn't gonna take it, but also nobody's ever really gonna touch that one. So this one is going up on the wall here for the time being. So I have two now. Does anybody else need one?
Yeah, one.
Just keep them, dude, because you can sell it later.
Yeah,
or take them with you.
Hard to sell. Is keeping it for later use, or let's see.
So this is rather sweet. I liked it. Never thought I would need one, but
actually, one of the don't really like speakers on wall mounted and all that, but especially these long speakers that are kind of meant to be floor mounted. But the 18s really, for me at least, look the best when placed good on these wall brackets, because they're so slimmed down and perfectly. Compare these stands to the 8000 that was just an afterthought. It wasn't meant to be. this one seems like it was meant for the design.
Have you
all
seen
along.
the 8000 stands, like the first version of them, with the it was just a long steel plate,
For wall mounted?
and then
Yeah.
and then it had this little bracket, so it would basically hug the speaker midway. I think more or less like for a commercial use or something, so people don't topple it over or not. Those were the most hideous wall brackets that they've ever made.
You kind of, if you have to have speakers in the back end, you don't have to look at them, fine, but otherwise, why even bother? So so I think these are the best stands for the kind of speakers, and especially also now when you can see the harmony good placed on the wall, and it looks like so floaty and nice.
Florida or friends, what kind of poll is that? I'm like, dude, I wouldn't catch my ass to friends, like ever.
Omelette du fromage.
Fromage. Fromage.
Yeah. But don't ever question Dexter. He's always right.
That's right. Terrible news.
Yeah, no, but I kind of like this on 18s, especially better than on 8000s. I mean,
for sure.
On 18s, everything is better than 8000s, really.
Yeah, but they're just they look so just floaty and airy and light compared to the 8000. That's just like a big pencil just stuck in something.
8000s had the same wall bracket. The second style was the same wall bracket. That,
but still not because
it wasn't curved it didn't have the curve to it, but it still was tampered in.
So this is more like a floaty, like
so if it was female, you would prefer it this way.
Hello.
Yeah.
No, but it's actually very interesting to see this kind of speaker just balancing, just sitting on that just tip.
That's what she said.
Just the tip. So it's actually the best wall bracket they have ever done. So, and I wouldn't have 18s otherwise.
I think the worst wall bracket to work with or install were BeoLab 12s. With that, what was it? Like a 12 or 15 centimeter Allen key that was super tiny, like super tiny.
The 8 or with the 12s or?
Yeah.
People saying you should go to France.
59%? Oh my lord. No, I'm not going to France. It's fucking Skinny Plays, like probably getting all his employees to vote and shit. Yeah, I don't know.
Je m'appelle Willie.
No, sorry, Bob. I'm not gonna go to freaking Florida there. That's where I'm gonna go.
Close enough.
I think 5 years, 75%.
Apparently, you're making a mistake. So.
What, to go to Florida? Why? Because there's gators and shit, and it's all humid. I don't care. I'd rather be in humid than having to buy, 36 liters of water a week, of distilled water a week, to keep this fucking place at 25%, if even that.
Do you actually speak French? Is that like mandatory to learn in Canada, or?
No, you have to speak French, or the bastard French, because it's not real French. Let's face the fact here. Only when you work for government. So legally, I can call government, not speak a word of French, and I could make them talk to me in French.
Yeah, if you want to.
Without even pressing 2 or whatever.
Okay.
That's, it's going to be a really interesting conversation. I've never done it, but once you call to Quebec or whatever, obviously all the answering machines for people is all in French. It just rolls on you and what is this? And then you don't know what to say.
Je n'entendrai pas, monsieur.
Oh my lord.
Ça va.
End call.
Je ne parle pas français.
Yeah.
Ah oui.
Very important to know in French. To say you don't know how to speak French.
Most important.
I'm sure that they would figure that when I say I don't speak French, bro. I would just say that.
And then the other thing is, au secours, au secours.
I would go "Ne français," bro.
Just means help.
Or whatnot. Yeah.
Enough about France and Poland.
Yeah, that's a stupid poll, bro. I can't believe I made you make me go to France virtually.
Well, David also, I'll keep it at the point that you still have to go to France.
Yeah.
Flores asks, what are your expectations for the coming year with a new soundbar around the corner and Mozart platform? We don't actually know that there's a new soundbar around the corner because we don't know anything about around the corner because of problems with supply.
So we have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I mean, go on Twitter or any social media and look up #empty shelves. Well, it's worse for electronics.
And one thing also to see that how far behind in schedule they are. Now they released the BeoLab 28s in gold tone. That was scheduled to do in September. So, and they released it now, I guess. So yeah, it's kind of far behind. And with a lot of stuff, so yeah.
Chat's going crazy. Okay.
Yeah, because you're a fugazi.
Fugazi.
No, but so the problem with anything B&O next year is that you can't expect much of anything because so much is not up to them. They probably want to do a bunch of things and they probably have a bunch of designs ready, but can you get the parts? Can you get the processors? Can you get the electrics, the PCB boards? And if you can, at what price? Are they at the price that you thought of when you were designing it, or do you pay 5x now?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if well, you don't have to imagine, but like the Emerge is now not available for the time being because they can't get parts. I bet you that's a sort of easy way of saying that we could technically make it, but if we get the parts now, they'll be 3-4x to the point where our sales price is then too low. And if an Emerge was €1,000, would you buy it? If it was 1250, would you buy it?
No.
And it's a small company with its own kind of money problem as it is, so yeah, I don't think they should buy stuff just because, especially not at 5 times the price, just because, and not make a profit of it. So
yeah, they're not exactly swimming in money to do the customers a solid.
No, and it's not a big company, so you have to take in mind that. So yeah.
I mean, so it's one of these things. In terms of Mozart, that's where they can actually do stuff because it's software. So I do expect them to have more streaming options built or be able to build in, for instance. Because the idea and the intention was that it was more of an open platform where you're not just stuck to TuneIn and Deezer. And if people desperately want, I don't know, a Rune endpoint or something like that, surely the Mozart platform could carry that. They just have to code it in. I mean, maybe they want, I don't know, a native Tidal streamer. But that probably has to be coded in as well. I don't know where that'll go, but I expect something along those lines.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll probably go the bigger route first, so maybe they'll go like an Apple Music streamer first.
I don't think so, no, because the new kind of Apple Music finally released good quality, but yeah, most people
What's Apple right now, at FLAC, or they just came to FLAC?
FLAC, and even have Dolby Atmos tracks and for certain, for headphones and all that. They want to be in on the new stuff. Yeah.
I wonder how that Yeah.
Quite honestly, I think quality is almost less important to B&O than the size of the platform. And that's why I think they went back to like Spotify, right? Because Spotify, I think, relaxed something, and now you can use Spotify quite easily again.
Yeah, so many people are using it.
Yeah, Spotify is probably the biggest. After that, it's most likely Apple Music.
Yeah.
And after that, I don't know. But in terms of like, I'll do a quick Google search. Biggest streaming services. Let's see. And it's also apparently market dependent. Oh, yeah, that's video. Audio.
Yeah, I quite wonder what. You think Spotify is the number one?
Actually, no. It's Apple Music is number one. Spotify second.
Yeah.
If you go by North America, then it's Pandora Radio. Then iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, then Amazon.
I think Spotify is maybe bigger here in Europe.
Yeah. So it probably depends a bit on the market in which they want to serve first.
I don't know what's biggest in like China, because
isn't that a QPlay stuff that we can't get over here?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, maybe that's something that
I don't know why they don't take that QPlay source out of the list. It's always there. Like if something's not available for certain regions, like shouldn't that be just based off software on its own? Like I am in this region, these are not going to be shown.
So apparently for Europe it's a bit different. Europe, Spotify, then Tidal, then Apple Music, and then Amazon, weirdly. Who here uses Amazon Music, actually? Let us know in chat.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So, Frederick,
would that be like that Prime shit?
Amazon Music HD.
But I think that's like you can actually you buy tracks and you get to keep them to download.
No, it's a music streaming service.
Then everyone with Prime is probably counted. That's generating.
Yeah, there's a lot of that nonsense going on where since it's a free service, therefore we can count you and bill people for ads more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Spotify seems the biggest, but Spotify is basically already there as an endpoint. I don't think it's a native streamer. I'm not sure Spotify actually would allow for that. It might, but
for what?
For like on the Mozart platform, just have like a native streamer built in, like what Deezer is.
Oh,
because just like Spotify doesn't like it when you multi-room, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're paying for it, who cares? But
I understand the logic behind it. Like, I don't understand the logic behind it. Like, you're enjoying it in your own environment if you're multicasting, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not playing the same shit to a neighbor's house, right? Like, it's within your own environment. I just don't understand why the Spotify has such a nonsensical point of view at it. But yeah, I'm quite interested what else they're gonna put into that Mozart, because yeah, like you said, there's not gonna be much B&O or new B&O coming out, at least, or any B&O that is gonna be easy to get around at this point.
That's right. Yeah.
And they're gonna have to focus a little bit more on the software. I think that they should do a little bit more work with the Halo remote. I think the Halo should show you. They could basically have the same interface as the Moment, where when the Moment is playing, like, forget the album art and all that nonsense, right? But just have it so you can slide through tracks like you could with the Moment on the screen, right? Whatever was playing. I think that there should be a and access to at least your favorites and playlists. I don't need the albums and all that shit. Like, you know, you don't have to make it like an old school BO6, but now all of a sudden you're browsing by letters on the BeoMaster 5 type of thing. But I would like to have something that you have your favorites, you push favorites, and boom, there you go. Then it just opens the playlist. You can scroll up
You
and
want
down.
something that you come home, just press and play, and just easy just to skip
but that's
tracks.
also but also it gives you the ability to just like have something that you don't have to use your phone for, because I'd rather fuck around on a Halo remote than my phone, and just for the sake of experience. And quite honestly, it's not like something that you're just going to browse through the multitudes of albums, but I would like to have an option where I could just scroll to the left and, you know, slide 5-6 tracks ahead, and then, okay, that's what I want to listen to, tap, right? That's all I'm asking for. Like, it's not really that much. And also it should have the list of stations that you have saved in your TuneIn. This is also something that I kind of see a little bit bipolar, where you have TuneIn presets, right? So if I play, I don't have the level because it's gone now. If I play stuff on my whatever I have here, stations from 1 to 9, I know what they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I play from the level, I no longer have stations 1 to 9. I have only my buttons from 1 to 4. They're the presets, because now it's listening to the Bang & Olufsen radio, which doesn't have those. I don't have, or I haven't found out the ability to save favorites other than the 4 favorites you've got. You know what I'm saying? So you can't go through a list of presets and select certain radio stations that are past number 5 or 4, I guess. So
Flores asks again, from my understanding, it would in theory be possible to have a sort of Sonos-like option to have, example, 2 balances as rear speakers with a stage up front. In brackets would be killing their own TV products. In theory, that's possible, but you have to make it work, and you have to make it work flawlessly. If Sonos, for whatever reason, drops out every so often, you don't really care, because the speakers may be €500 for an expensive one. Secondly, with the stage, I don't see that as an option yet, because the stage is not on Mozart. So they either have to update the stage or
2.0.
Yeah, or do something else. But I also don't see that happening in the near future, because why up the price by what they've upped everything by? It's I'm pretty sure if there was a stage that would do that with that sort of capability, that change would be drastic enough to give it a name change. So could they do it? Yes. Is Sonos a lot larger company than B&O? Also yes. I mean, for the longest time, probably in the last 5 years, the whole software department was like 15 guys or something. And only since
they upped their game now, finally.
Sure, but it's only been a year. Like, that whole Sonos ecosystem wasn't built in a year.
No.
Oh, no. Rome wasn't built in a year.
Almost.
So, it's one of those things where, like, they'll have to play catch up a bit and then hope they don't cross Sonos with their patents and all that nonsense like Google did, and then all of a sudden nobody can do general volume control for groups anymore because somehow Sonos owns that.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I still think that there's room to improve things. And maybe the newer platforms, hopefully, like, let's say the True Image Engine, whatever, 2.0, I guess it would be, that would allow for Wi-Fi connectivity to, you know, neighborly speakers around and play effects through them. That'd be cool. But then you're introducing, like, another number of variables, right? Because then you have got to make sure that person is efficient enough network sustenance or power, right? To support all that shit. Because some people just think that, you know, like not some people, most of the people think that I deal with anyways, that, you know, that router that they have from the ISP provider is Cat, right? Like that's, you know, that's Wi-Fi, like it works. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't work that far. Like if you do mesh network or whatever, like if you start pushing really a lot of traffic through it, it's not going to hold it together at all. Like there's no way. So
maybe
that's
this is
another thing that you'd have to introduce.
Maybe this is also a personal thing, and partially for you, a location thing. Whenever I'm in the US, the amount of people that call internet connection Wi-Fi is insane to me. Because if their phone or computer, laptop, whatever says, oh, I don't have Wi-Fi, like in my head, it's like, why? What's wrong with the router? And they just mean, oh, no, the internet is out.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, a lot of people here just think, yeah. I actually had one guy that built this place above his garage, like a secondary unit, right, for his mom. But since this nonsense hit, like she couldn't travel, so she just, you know, sold the place, or she lived blah blah, and she had an Avant, dude. This dumbass didn't put any network cable in that house. There was one cat cable coming up, right, for the Wi-Fi, and that was that. And I'm sitting there like, Jesus Christ! I'm like, why would you not put more cables in here? Like, it's 2020, everything should be wireless. And I'm just like, oh man, you're a dumbass, bro. Like, you should have stuff that is, like, you know, hardwire is hardwire.
Yeah,
you can't argue that.
It's basically always there.
Yeah. So, and then
unless unless it is a bad, you know, wiring by some people, but you know, Beo wouldn't have those guys, so.
Well, but you would know right away. You would know right away if the wiring's shot, because it doesn't work. It's not like in and out type of thing.
Yeah.
I've had fucking nails shot through my cat cables before. Not fun.
With regards to the Halo, Sandeep says, isn't the Halo screen just too small for browsing music? Maybe for like the full feature set of like the list or whatever. But surely.
No, I'm just saying the same as like on the moment, when the moment was playing, because you had the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you swipe, like once it's in playback, right? It's just, you can swipe and it just scrolls through a couple songs, you know, to the left, and then stops on whatever. So then you can either go forward or just tap that track that you wanted.
Yeah, like surely when you're in like sources, you can have a list like that with just playlists.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And just have the tracks of whatever is coming up. Maybe with a little larger font so it's easier to read. But I don't think that it should go all the way to like you browsing through picking playlists and shit.
I mean, in terms of home automation, the Halo is quite epic. And since the TV bit has been integrated, I actually use it quite a lot more.
Mm-hmm. But you can't do that with the Halo, what we're talking about.
No.
So that would be something that I would really like to have, because it just makes total sense. Like sometimes, you know, it's much less disruptive acoustically or for the experience of listening when you select, you know, you skip through 5 tracks on the Halo per se, if it had the feature, and tap on the song you want, then just go in like 1, 2, 3, 4 on the remote control. And then, you know, okay, it's this one or that one, because you don't know how far you are. So you'd have to have, you know, you have to listen to a little bit of a start of each song.
But the Halo tells you the metadata of the song as soon as you press next. At least on mine it does. It shows you immediately what the next song is.
Yeah. But sometimes it's fast enough that the song starts, right? So you know what I'm saying?
I've never come across that personally.
Can I just ask a quick question? Bear with me, I have to show you something on just the phone to you, the webcam. But you see what I'm holding up here? Anders Sellström just got his Harmony installed, and this is one of the boxes. You see the spiral design here?
What is that?
Yeah, that's from the box of installing the Harmony or the stand here. Do you recognize this, and what's it for?
That's for the
I think
loom.
it's for that stuff you put
Cable
over the
hide.
cables. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
cable
right.
hide.
Because I didn't do the install myself, so I've never seen the box, but
Yeah, weirdly, you get one piece of 1.5 meters, I think, cable loom cover.
yeah.
And that comes in one of those weird boxes. Like when you buy the giant box dealers do, it's much more tightly wound. But that also means it stays wound like that a bit longer. So you have to stretch it the correct way.
Yeah, David Ruby just asked me, so that's fine. So yeah.
So it's one of those weird things. I don't know why they do it like that, but they do it like that. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, this is something else I bought.
Oh, you.
Oh, nice.
You.
Although it's
bastard.
not a Richard, but yeah.
I like it.
No, a local shop is stopping being a B&O shop, which is quite sad. But so I had to get.
You get the opportunity to buy kind of rare.
Go start whoring. Mike,
Can I have that one? Can I have that one?
Oh yeah, vulture around.
Again, I saw that the Anders got this miniature, this kind of stuff that they had the BeoVision. Was it like 5 or 9 miniature and some other speakers and all that, the BeoLab 5s and all that.
Wait, you could have just asked me, by the way, to pull the bloody picture up.
What picture?
Oh yeah.
No, we wouldn't have to go what's that on your phone?
Yeah, but yeah, now David can see as when we talk about it and how. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a giant box for just some cable cover loom. It's. I don't get it.
Is that what it is inside? There's nothing else in there?
I don't think
so. You can't be
so.
serious. No, there's got to be some more in there, dude. There's no way. I think that's for the plates. It's for the TV.
Yeah.
You don't remember yours anymore, do you?
It's been 3 years ago.
And I wasn't with the installer, so I don't know. But here I can see what I really love the round plate. I mean, it does so much more.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. I just hate when Bang Olufsen do this. As me and Michael, especially, we are so much of early adopters that we just get the stuff. Then later they do it better, and we have to go, oh, but why? Yeah, especially the covers now. They come in so much different types of wood and all that, and fabrics. I mean, and now you have so much more personalization of doing it.
I'm still content.
Yeah, but I would done
on what
differently
with my Harmony. Like the thing is, I very much like the rotating floor stand, but it does need about 10 centimeters or so more back spacing to make
I don't mind that.
No, my TV is almost that spaced anyway, so I don't think my TV is just...
You could have had your TV even on the wall, for God's sakes. Like, you don't really need to turn it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, when I actually tried to do gaming on the TV, and sitting on one of the sides of the sofa or the couch, I actually
you
thought
would like to turn.
Yeah, because it's so big screen, and when you're into it, it just feels weird. It's like sitting steering wheel and driving like this, and it's just not natural. So I have to be sitting in the center of it.
In fact, the most credit I'll give him that he actually kept on taking pictures, because I would have forgotten. I'm so bad at that. I never show before, always and after, and never a process, because I just get involved and just consumed by it. But
he's
that
a photographer,
sweet.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think it was installers doing it, and he had installers probably doing it. So yeah, I don't mind if people do that.
I think he did it himself, actually.
Or did he?
Yeah, I think so.
It's not hard. It's just heavy.
Yeah,
no, I know.
Christine, what's his name? the Danish. Was on the show. Boo. Stain.
I like it. Actually, it looks nicer with
something.
the 20s with the motorized stand because it just that round completely. It complements the speakers.
And one thing that I actually think that most people could go wrong with, or maybe it would be too much, is that if you have, it's not good to have too much wood. It just has to be in balance with the wood, because.
So what you don't mean? I don't know. I would go with the wood on the grills instead of the fabric. That's just my opinion.
No, I think that here I like to see that the speakers have that the covers instead of the TV, because it balance much better. I think just to have just everything in just the same. So I think this actually looks better. That's why if I'm doing the 28s, I would never do oak, because I have the regular oak on the TV, so it would be too much oak. So then I have to do. That's why I think I have to go with the black oak, the matte.
Oak is good.
Oak.
My only problem is that, like, once I get to Florida, because I'm gonna get that TV there. I'm not gonna bring wood to the forest, I guess, and I'm gonna sell my Avant. I'm gonna sell my Avant.
You say that, but as again, me and Michael is like, keep it. Bedrooms, you never know.
I don't want a TV in the bedroom, and I'm keeping the V1.
Keeping it for the guest room. I mean, me and Michael maybe come over sometime when the Corona hits, goes over.
Fuck, you're gonna sit in my room, watch TV like a dirt. What the fuck is wrong with you? No, we're gonna be hanging out, man.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna it's got freaking newborn in it and fans, so that TV is gonna be going for a long time.
Yeah. So in that sense, it's actually bulletproof. So why not keep it when it's actually going to withstand age better?
Well, because like I said, I don't have anywhere to put it, and I don't want to have, like, if I rent something, it's gonna probably be for.
Don't have place for Bang Olufsen is the least of the bio addictions problems. You just you have parents, you have friends, you have some weird place like.
I thought about giving it to my mom, but I'm like, if I give her the Avant, then I just fucked everything up, because it's the entire house is in Masterlink, right?
Yeah.
So then I would have to do something with the delay boxes, which I don't have, and I don't think you can even get that.
I can get you one.
So the delay box?
Yes.
The Masterlink delay box?
Yes.
No, I'm not interested. No.
That dealer that's closing still has like 2.
Don't you know the guy was actually getting the place after you? Who is moving in after you in this place?
I have no idea.
Okay, I thought you know. So yeah, if you knew the person, but if you knew the person, then you.
I talked to the landlord about leaving the LED lights that I have in the counters installed, like the Philips Hue, because it's a shame to rip it out, and they fucking look good and they work good. So why not leave it there? And why not walk out with more money than I had originally spent on a deposit, which rarely ever happens, I guess. And this shake is gonna hurt, bro.
Indeed.
Fucking 6 holes per tile I have in there. And I have 12 tiles.
You didn't see my wall after
80,
that I had
72
my
holes.
vision on that.
So Brendan wants to buy your Avant, and he'll give you back his BV7. If you're
it's the same continent then.
I don't want his BB7.
No, but they can go to your mum.
Yeah. Same system.
I mean, it works with Masterlink.
She's got a BB7 in her bedroom, bro, already on the wall bracket.
Yeah, now she has it on the other side.
I will do a tour, because I'll end up living with my mom for a few weeks before the transition, because I'm going to get out of this place sometime in the 3rd week of February. I need to organize it in a way that hopefully I can land that little pods container in where the fucking moving trucks come in.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a lot of headache saving, because then I can just pack up the 90s. Well, everything's gonna be packed up at that point, and just roll the 90s downstairs, load them into the containers, screw them down, and then load everything around it, and then have it picked up. And then essentially when I drive out, I'll just drive out with my essentials and tools, so I can start working Airbnb for a few months, see where I'm gonna. Because I don't know what neighborhoods. I don't know fuck all about Florida. Never been there, right? So I'm gonna scout it out for about 2-3 months, and then when I find something that I can, that I deem, I guess, worthy of renting in, I'm not gonna be renting somewhere by the fucking ocean. Then I'll pull the pin on it and have all the stuff delivered. So.
Yeah.
By the way, so the price hikes is literally, this is what B&O did to the secondhand market. These 90s have been for sale for a while, so the price went up by 88%.
Holy fuck.
Making a profit.
Yeah, but they were secondhand.
Yeah. I say now, when I'm selling my 18s, I will go with a profit.
So these were like 3 weeks to a month ago. These were 88% less. It's like, bloody hell.
Wow. Yeah, that's insane.
It's all unpleasant, all these price hikes and nonsense.
Yeah, they're doing like every so often, but yeah. The weird, as you talked about, some speakers are more justified than others on other products, like BeoSound 2 was it, and like the BeoSound Core even is just, it was expensive to begin with, and now it's even more, and just why even bother? But,
did the Core go up as well?
Yeah. In Sweden it was
€100, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, why even €100 more than it was? Even €100 way too much. So I mean,
I think that's the only product they should have dropped in price, more or less, than anything.
With €100. So yeah.
Yeah. The Core should never have gone up. That's too much for what it does.
Just, I mean, it's just the aluminium price. It's just plastic. So why even? I mean, yeah, it's so much. Maybe electronics and all that inflation stuff, but still, it's not justified. Especially for the product that you're just hiding. So
this is a much better option.
Indeed.
Sort of say, but yeah, this is a much better option now. Like knowing what it does.
I mean, you can hide it, but you can still put it out and leave it out, because you can actually touch it and do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has better interface and all that.
And it works with bloody everything.
Yeah.
So,
but this is the BLUESOUND, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, BLUESOUND node, yeah.
Yeah, and it has a full EQ and everything. So, I mean, if this is what
HDMI, nice.
what a Core is up against, then like, what the hell is B&O doing with the Core?
And you got 2 colors too, Jesus.
Yeah.
For €600. So, well, what's the price of the
same
Core in euros?
Oh,
same?
11. Sorry, the Core is €1,100 now, I think.
Jesus.
The doctor asks, is the Core better in sound, or is the Node better in sound quality than the Core?
The same or better, I would say.
Yeah, roughly similar. Depends on which audio out you do.
Yeah.
Now, if you feed optical into the speaker,
yeah,
then
it makes
the speaker
no difference.
It makes no difference. It's the speaker that makes the sound. Yeah, let's go. What the fuck is the Core under?
€899.
Isn't that the old price by now?
No, the old price was $750.
Oh, then maybe I saw some inflated price somewhere, but it was over 1,000 last time I saw it.
Look it up now and see, because here in Sweden it was 7,500. Swedish krona, and that's just divide that by 10, and you get roughly.
I could be wrong, but 900 euro is still. Way
it was
too
still
much.
€100 increase, so it's where one, as Willie said, it's one product that they should have cut the price of €100, and they actually increase it by €100. So now it's overpriced by €200. So yeah,
it's still 13.50 Canadian. It's just from, I don't know why.
Maybe I saw it in dollars then.
It's more plausible. Yeah.
Sometimes B&O's website shows up as USD, and I don't always catch it.
Yeah.
No, you're correct. It's €900, $8.99.
Yeah. You want a bag with that?
Still too much for what it is.
So sorry for that, but
still. I mean, for that kind of hockey puck, for what it is, it's. Yeah.
I mean, it's €300 more than this.
Yeah, and does less. Looks more shittier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because in terms of the core, you have treble plus and minus, bass plus and minus, tune in, and Deezer, and then you can AirPlay and Chromecast, but that's about it.
Yep.
But the problem with high res anything is that if you have most of, like, I'm not even sure Chromecast does the full FLAC files, like 24-bit 96 kilohertz or above, over casting from your phone to another device.
By the way, I don't remember this. Does this have WISA to your speakers?
No.
What, the Blue Note?
The core?
No, the core.
No WISA.
No, so I mean, you still have to have cables and all that, so it does really nothing for that extra money.
No.
Network link.
So even their own kind of technology with WISA, that it doesn't even have.
Network link is the only thing that the core has going on for itself. Network link and that specific software sauce that they use for connecting it to the shape amplifier.
Yeah.
That is it.
Which is.
And even at that point, that amplifier is the one that's making the decision what speakers plays what when it's got that from bang on the wall shit.
I mean, HDMI ARC input is fantastic, really, on the BlueSound node.
Yeah.
Like, at least you can attach a TV to it for. I mean, the more and more I think about it, I'll get a.
That's sweet, man. The inputs on it.
Yeah. Where's the? Because pretty soon I'll get one of these to test out, the Hall audio Wi-Fi streamer, which is which I'm very much looking forward to, because the more and more I think about it, the more this makes sense. B&O is becoming very, very expensive. This has HDMI in as well, and you can stream to it. And it comes with a standard 5-volt trigger, so you can use regular Ethernet cable or the Ethernet to PowerLink cable, so it works with all B&O speakers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Which is very sweet. And thinking about, like, it's around €250, I think, at the moment. I don't see a price. But in terms of people that are new to the B&O collectibles and don't want to spend $2,000 on a stage now, you can get one of these and a set of Lab 1s or Pentas or whatever, and be done for about half, and it works with your TV, and you can stream to it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you have the streamer and the TV interface thing, and you can connect your speakers to it. And you'd be done for, like, I don't know, what do Pentas go for now? Like €800 or something like that?
I have no idea.
Depending on which. The frees are kind of overpriced, but way higher than the Mark 1s and Mark 2s.
Every Penta I had, I gave away. So I don't know how much they cost, because It's just they always came around for free and went around for free.
So 750 to 950 ish, roughly.
But yeah, that's what I would assume, like $1,000 here, maybe 1,500 for the Mark III.
I mean, I know Steve loves his pentas.
Yeah, they're great.
They're too muddy sounding to me now. Like I love them. Not that I've grown up around them, but those were one of the first big speakers I owned. And
they're the closest thing to a DeLorean that you can have.
I had the non-powered version. That's my first pentas were non-powered version, and the BEOS system 5500. 5,000.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think it was 5,000. And
with the right amp, these were
that's
good. Yeah.
Like those amps were only 60 watts per channel, right? But they were like these things just threw down, and then I got the powered version of them, and I was shocked what they sound like.
Yeah,
I love those old school displays inside the speakers. Like it's such era.
Yeah, the old 5,000 and these, yeah.
It's such a good
it's
era.
Kind of the heyday, yeah, the perfect day with the two-way speakers and two-way remotes and all this 7,000 or 5,000 links remotes and everything. Just here we have system for the future. I can do everything, and then it's just.
Which is kind of funny and sad in the same time, where in mid-90s we had utilized light as a communications technology between the remote controls and such, right?
Yeah.
There and back, and they had shown more information than the today's Beo Remote 1 does via Bluetooth.
Yep.
Independent on line of sight and whatever.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I guess that Beo Remote 1 has over top of like a 5500 or whatever those controllers were, is the fact that it shows the tune-in stations in on the Bluetooth, nothing else. Yeah. The rest is exactly the same in my eyes as far as like functionality goes, because there's nothing too special, not even backlighting, right? That's another thing that I would highly recommend B&O revisiting the idea of backlighting these remotes.
Why do you need backlighting when you have these kind of small ribs or whatever?
Oh, it's so
you feel,
tactile.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I didn't grow up learning how to read Braille, so I'm not that good.
Yeah.
Neither have I. And you know what? I've had this remote since freaking first Avant came out, and I still would improve it with backlighting it. Have a little light sensor inside, and when it's bright, don't turn on. When it's dark, turn on for a few seconds.
By the way, how much is the 5s?
Yeah. Seemingly from 5,400 to 8,000 is the upper edge. They're coming down hard in price, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
They were dipping.
Look at Lab 9.
Yeah, they're going up again.
These are at my dealer. He's asking 7,000, but they come with 6 months warranty.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a good dealer price.
When the 50s
how much are the Lab 9s? Check out the Lab 9s. I want to see what the Lab 9s are going for.
3,000 or so.
I had a set of those to dump. Anybody wants a set of 9s?
When I sold
2,200 euro. 2,400 euro.
So that's what?
Them.
Like 4,000
3,000 Canadian, something like that?
3 grand, yeah.
Still holding itself up very good, I can say.
Apparently, I'm being accused of browsing real speakers now. I'll be on Focal shortly. No, the only Focals I'm interested in are the ones I can't afford. And they're also great. The Focal Utopia Evo 3s. They make the 90s look tiny because they're 2 meters tall. They're 200 kilo a speaker. And they are, I think, starting at 220 grand without amplifiers.
That's sad. Why would you want those? And why are they that good?
I'm just interested in them. I don't want them, really. Like I said, I can't afford them anyway.
Yeah, goose. So I'm not the only one that looked in other speaker markets.
So I
brands.
look at them and it's like, holy
Yeah, I
fuck,
did that
these are the
once.
first speakers that are taller than me.
Yeah, I looked at other speaker once and said it here on the show, and I'll never do that again. Goose.
No, it's fine if you look at other things. It's horrible if you look at Bose.
Yeah, it was Bowers and Wilkins. So yeah.
No, Bowers and Wilkins is okay. It's just limited in use. Bose is what is really like your
Which
Antichrist.
episode was it? Yeah, you can take again that episode and you hear the ranting that I got. I mean,
just good.
It went on for like 3 or 4 episodes or so. Yeah, I became a dealer for those. Yeah.
Yeah, you got your asshole ripped. That's for damn sure, bro. Oh, it's funny.
One thing that Bose actually so great in, I mean, I just wish that they continued that development, was suspensions in cars.
1,500 euros for a BV9. When I saw a scroll by, that's not bad.
BV7 as well, BV9, yeah.
But well, have you seen the Bose suspension system on cars?
No.
No. I thought they did it only in the seats for the trucks.
No, they took this kind of magnetic suspension ride. They bought 2 old Lexus. This was back in 90s, 91 or something that they did this suspension system. And they bought 2 Lexus IS, what do I call them, and one with a regular one and one with their system on. And it just looks so artificially made because it's just so good. And they compared to new cars and all that, it's just nothing. But it was redeemed to be too heavy and too expensive to make, and which is weird because I thought that like luxury brands like Bentley and such would buy this system immediately and patent it and all that, but nope. It's just so extremely well. You can actually, yeah, they showed off that they could sense, something on the road, and the car could jump ahead of it. So it just boom. You can look it up. Yeah, you can look it up later. It's just fun to see. Yeah, it's amazing.
The Bosies.
The only thing that they did well, they quit it.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the Audis, the suspension on the A8s and A6s and such.
Yeah, this is like back in 90s and even better.
Yeah, but
so that's
now
weird.
it's next level. They're using fucking LiDAR and all that to scan the road as it goes, to stiffen individual wheels and shit.
Same here.
It's super cool. Is those focals?
Yeah. This is how tall they are for reference.
I guess those speakers.
My height would be to the bass driver at the bottom.
Yeah, about.
That's me.
Yeah, I think they're 2.5 meters tall, something like that.
Holy
almost
fuck.
the same as you, Michael.
I mean, they're absolutely enormous, and they're, like I said, something like 220 kilos each.
They look like they're broken.
You get a little hand crank, because when they come from the factory, they're straight. But when you crank them, they make that bending thing, so you can perfectly adjust them to how tall you are when you're sitting.
So the 90s...
You literally have a little crank where you go like...
Yeah. So, again, the 90s
I
are
hope
cheaper.
it doesn't squeak.
The 90s are cheaper and all that, and they had the technology within the speaker to measure out where you're sitting and all these kind of things. And this speaker come with a hand crank, and you still have to, place them right.
Tall speaker.
Yeah, and you still have to have the right amps and all that, and depending what amps you get, and depending.
Yeah, what amp should you get with this? Like,
depends on if you want the warm sound, the cold sound, or true, or it's.
It's
one of those for ever tweaking, but I think the minimum they recommend is 250 watt output minimum.
Yeah.
So preferably you have one of those amp cooling blocks with an actual amp next to it that does something like 800 to 1,000 watt out.
Yeah.
That's so fucking stupid, bro.
We saw the other speakers that I showed you another time, that you have the speakers in like 2-meter towers, then beside that, there was 2-meter towers. That was just the base. Then you
Yeah.
have 3 or 4 of these kind of big, huge brick boxes. Just to have, it's so much stuff.
Fucking
Yes, the
trucking boats
speakers was just-
moving these across 4,800 kilometers. I couldn't even fathom having a headache with that shit. Because that's like,
Yeah.
that barely fits into your freaking, like a locker, even, the container.
Yeah.
And I guess that your 90s are more solid in,
Oh,
shipping
fuck.
them, and rather than these kind of speakers. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna screw the 90s to the floor like I did with my BB9 with the TV. I screwed the transport feet directly, and like I built like a little 2x4 platform so the TV hovered, and it survived.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how Sandy would pronounce that.
For reference, how tall this shit is, like this dude is standing up and he's not even up to the top driver. It's insane.
Yeah.
And then they got these special amps there, I guess. Do they make their own amps or name? I guess it was be the one that is sponsoring them amps there.
Focal does a lot of stuff in house. I think this is one of those special record players that cost like 30 grand. Because
the clear audio, it looks like it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because that platter is like 30 kilos or something for vibrations, and it's amazing how well Beograms still stack up with a simple solution of just have the whole thing suspended in the chassis versus like add weight to stop things vibrating
And transferring over, yeah.
I mean, I can quite literally jump right next to here like several times, or have my niece do it again, and it just doesn't care.
Never.
Well, no, it was designed for dance parties, right? When people start
Yeah.
dancing and shit, and, music starts skipping. You feather dance.
You have the plate and also the tone arm, so everything just.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing where that goes. Let's. I want to see a poll again.
Key?
What are the key speakers?
Yeah, I never heard it. It says that it's a pretty new brand, but never know. Google it. Google it.
Yeah. Google the key speakers. What series are they?
Oh, the Key 3s, you mean? They're bookshelf speakers. They are. They're quite techie speakers, and I sort of like them, but a lot of it is sort of they're active, and they sort of are reminiscent of a lot of B&O tech. Because they
I don't know what to make of them.
Room compensation and all that. Obviously this is front and back view, and you can get them in a lot of different colors. In terms of design, they're not really for me. But in terms
Each
of
own, right? Yeah.
They look like a coffee maker to me. Like something that you would stick a capsule right in the tweeter.
Yeah.
we don't make coffee like that here. We put actual beans in, and
Compared to what people assume what Bang Olufsen speakers are, I mean, that's nothing.
I mean they're quite capable, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you look at
Shit, I'm gonna have a coffee now. God damn your ass.
if you look at a solution like this, I'm not the biggest fan of having to have speakers be put on pedestals like this.
Well, it depends on what you need, but yeah, it's cool that they have the option for it, but it depends also what, if you want these kind of pedals at least.
Yeah, but how else would you do it? Because there's drivers on the back, right? You cannot. Well, I guess you can, but you're gonna make the sound shit.
Yeah,
You're not gonna scoot these up against the wall. These are the type of speakers that have to be in from the wall like a meter.
Yeah.
like the old kind of Martin Logans also.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends if you have the space and you can place them right and in the listening room and all that, fine. Most people would, as you say, maybe place them so
Haven't we talked
you
about
wouldn't be
those?
get the best sound from them, but still good, I guess.
Haven't we talked about those about a year ago? Because I just for some reason remember these, or I might have watched a YouTube video of them being reviewed.
I've seen
For
this
some
before,
reason
but
they
yeah,
remind they're very familiar to me. What is that standing on? Is that more
the tower
woofers?
kind of.
Yeah, this is like the key 3.
They
full
look
power.
like those fucking air conditioning vents in the car. The flaps.
Yeah.
Weird.
I don't know. The thing for me with any speaker system really is how easy is it to have dual purpose, and by that I mean go from stereo to surround sound setups. Because most speakers or speaker systems are good for one or the other and not both. And I think a lot of B&O's ingenuity is that it's totally up to you.
I mean, with
Yeah.
Bang Olufsen, it's so easy just to do everything that you want. If you buy a BeoVision, I mean, have it as a the music hub, so you can just listen to your music in the speaker setup that you want. Then just press of a button and you have surround sound, and the TV makes it just work with processing and all that, and just whoop, so easy. And everything, no special cables, it just whoop. Especially now with Wi-Fi,
the special cables thing is, it used to be, because DIN plugs used to be the most royal pain in the ass.
Yeah, but
B&O was the only one that used them like that.
Yeah, but
Philips did too. I dug out at my buddy's house. We were going through in his barn. He dug out this old ass Philips amp, dude, and it's got freaking DIN connectors on it. Like, I remember DIN plugs were very common back in the 80s.
Yeah, but it is when they go to active speakers, it didn't really matter the thickness or the quality of the cable, because everything was just built in. So
Well,
just
once it was in line level, yeah, that doesn't matter. But
so
what connector would you use? Like, you kind of screwed for any like other option, in my opinion, at that time. Like DIN plugs made most sense. Now I like the fact that they've gone into the RJ45 standard, but those little power links that they make are little shiitake mushrooms with these, like, just they don't stay in properly.
Don't be like Brendan and put it in the wrong hole, ladies.
Fuck. It happened to me too. I put it in I put power link into the Ethernet on the core. I'm like, why the fuck there's no sound? I'm looking like, oh my rookie Christ.
That's the only downside with having all the plugs be the same.
That's right. All the holes are same.
Well, I guess that's very modern of you. I guess you call that pansexual now.
That's right. You get the non-functioning DPL. But yeah. I was actually quite surprised, speaking of DPL and all that jazz and RJ45s, because I spent a whole weekend basically soldering not a whole week, but like I spent a majority of one day soldering all the cables together, because I had to solder all the power links on the BeoLab 4 ends and solder all 4 cables into one, and then put an RJ45 connector to plug it into the core. So it took a little bit of time. But I use these. I've never used them before, but they're the self-sealing little things that you put the cable in between it and you heat shrink it, and there's a solder inside. Fucking works like a charm. I highly recommend whoever is an installer. They're expensive, but they save you a lot of time and work, especially when you have to do something in midair, like I had to hover off a freaking.
Probably also save your fingertips up all day doing, where it's just.
Yeah. So I got these little alligator clips, right? So you have the cables to hold, and then sweet, done.
Yeah, but you always burn your fucking fingertips, the ends of it with soldering.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Like I said, I have the alligator clips, so that holds the soldering, like that holds the cables in place. Steve knows what I'm talking about. He's got one too. He's probably got one gold plated by now, but it's for his 40th. But besides the point, what I was getting at is they repurposed old BeoLab 4s from their whatever into the gym. And I was actually surprised how well they sounded, comparing that there's the entire room is glass mirror and the only soft surface is that padded like a rubber. They use this rubber material for, you know, soft, like it's like the shit on the playground zone, like on the playgrounds, right?
Yeah.
And then there's hardwood where the rowing machine and the Peloton bike is. And so it's like an L-shaped room. I'll take pictures once it's all finished. Well, that part of it is finished, and you'll see it. But it's pretty slick how they sound in there. Also, I was very proud that it fucking all worked on the first try. Because then, like, oh shit, like what did I solder wrong, right? Because it's all heat shrink tube, like everything's just sealed. I'm like, oh, but
it
I
works.
guess with experience, you don't f up as much. So yeah, I had everything fired up. Now I just gotta finish the theater, and we're laughing.
Flora said, B&O is easy for surround sound when spending a lot of money. That's why I pointed out the Sonos thing would be awesome in my particular setup. He has 2 balances, 2 levels, and 2 stages. Yeah, although I think a lot of people misunderstand how backwards compatible B&O speakers in particular are. Like my Harmony still has audio presets for pentas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck? Like, these things are like 30 years old, and there's an audio preset in there for it, and it works.
Yeah.
Even 35 even, yeah.
So, B&O and surround sound doesn't necessarily need massive money, but it's also because they don't like to point it out, because then you're not buying new shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you buy BV11, Avant Mark 1, all that, you'll have surround sound with amazing speakers that are fairly cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have the option of upcycling the speakers from, you know, changing the roles. Like, you know, these used to be our living room speakers. Now you bought something for the living room, so you move these back to the somewhere else, or to the theater per se, and add more speakers there. That's what's cool, especially with the new TVs, that you can do up to 20 speakers, more or less, which is sick. Because no other amp, receiver, whatever can do it and assign them that flexibly. Like that's it's the most undersold option and feature in the TVs, in my opinion. It's something that people just don't.
The very special
know.
kind of home theater amplifier that does those kinds of things, but still, it's a lot of money for those kind of, to get this kind of the same sound and all that. So yeah.
But if you think about it, so you buy a BeoVision whatever, right? You hook up a couple speakers, just like I have it here. I got nothing really that is anywhere obtrusing anything, right? If I were to do this with amps and shit, you also have to consider that you need to spend money on some sort of a piece of a furniture that you have to have that shit sitting in, so the TV can sit on top of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just a mess of anything. Like everything is inside there, because you're gonna have the amp that generates a lot of heat too, right? So then you get the Apple TV, I guess cable box, if you're one of those people that actually still watches television as normal. I don't, so I could care less for it. But yeah, like, you know, whatever I would have for a music play, it would have to sit there too. And
majority prefers BLab 1 over Penta. Yes,
of course. Of course, they're a nicer speaker.
I was kind of surprised because I feel that many people think that the Pentas are more iconic, and I guess most people have actually heard the Pentas comparing to BLab 1s that are probably more rare in some ways. But
depends on how old you are.
Yeah.
Because if you're in your 30s, you were too young to ever witness Pentas being brought in.
But then you have the secondhand market for them, so maybe then people buy them.
Yeah, but then they're not as shiny. They're sort of like, I don't know, they're sort of that champagne-y color. They're not as highly polished. and very much depending on how much people smoked back in the day, they could just be sort of dark brown.
Indeed, so yeah.
And they smell funky. And ring
But
rod,
they got to be way more Pentas ever produced than BLAB ones, right? Because I rarely see BLAB ones on the secondary market. Pentas is always one or two or some pairs.
Because
personally, I would have
look
ones
better.
over Pentas any day.
Come again?
Yeah.
I would have ones over Pentas any day.
Yeah, but you're a fanboy of them, and I guess so. I mean, I don't think that they are bad, but I just think that the design is more iconic for people that they recognize there's a more iconic feel to the Pentas, I would thought. But yeah, prove me wrong. So
I think that people hang on to the Lab ones more than they hang on to the Pentas. And if you think about it, Pentas have been around for so long that some people like, okay, well, yeah, let's upgrade right now, right? So, and then they sell the Pentas.
I agree with you. I think that the reason why they're not coming off on the secondhand market that often, and also that they are very high priced on the secondhand market, they are even almost more or equal to BLAB 9s, you know. And some people would say that maybe some better, but yeah.
Plus, a lot of people that sell Pentas, they also hope to sell them without, I don't know, if to people that don't know much or whatever, because the foam surrounds rot out, right?
Yeah.
And you can't really tell because the cloth is so dense that even with a good flashlight, it's hard to see what conditions those things are. And you have to take the grill off, but usually people don't do that, right? So, but yeah, it's everybody's personal preference. I've had Pentas. Yeah. I would honestly prefer the BeoLab 1 with a company of BeoLab 11.
Sounding wise, I would love the BeoLab ones. I only heard them once, so I can't really say too much. But for the one I heard, really good.
I might buy the Lab 19 when I get to Florida as well, just for the fuck of it.
Why is that?
Tie it in with the 9s, or I mean the 1s, and see how they sound.
Good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I would say so, yeah.
Did you have them, or did you listen to them with the 19?
Me at the dealer, yeah, of course. But I had ones with my 2. And the 2 took forever to properly set, and the 19 is better. But for movies, the BeoLab 2 had much more of an effect. It's a lot looser. It's a lot more rumbling. It's a much more inaccurate.
If that's what, yeah.
But that's amazing in movies.
Yeah, it's the same with the BeoLab 5s. That with that big 15-inch woofer on, just sound going everywhere. Just you feel it compared to hear it accurately, as you do with 50s.
Oh yeah, you don't buy BeoLab 2 for accuracy.
No,
you buy BeoLab, and BeoLab 5s. You also don't buy them for accuracy. You buy them for parties. You buy these things to rock and roll with.
They are very accurate, but comparing them to new speakers is not fair. So
no, you can't.
For what they're still
like
better or more accurate than even modern speakers, but comparing them to BeoLab 50s is not fair. That's no. 50s are just way better.
Brian, where do you have your BeoLab 11 now? I don't remember.
With its 8,000s in the kitchen area, dining place.
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken.
That's your old pad with the Lab ones. Nice. What was that? BB10 or 11?
10. 1046.
That's a 10. Nice.
By the way, have you saw the place that I showed you, right? The kind of house.
The $10 million France place or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was all in Bangos, and especially the era was BeoVision 14, Horizon, 20s, like everywhere, and an Avant that I guess was it 75-inch or 85-inch? Couldn't really see that on that screen. But yeah, it's a very cool house, but it's the fun to see when you see expansive houses that, especially in America, they always this kind of tacky clash when you see something this expensive. You have biggest Sony TV or something.
I hate that so much.
Yeah, or just regular TVs over the fireplace and all this kind of thing. And you see a modern house in a modern environment, and in France, in Europe, and everything is, modern with bangles.
Oh, good God! I was looking at houses like 2-3 days ago in the Florida area, and it's a very pretty house, and it had for the first time, a normal shaped living room where it's not like narrow one side that's straight into the kitchen, or like somehow in America you always have a living room and then a door to the master bedroom, and it's like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
like that makes no sense. Why do you want like all the noise from the house in your master bedroom?
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's weird how they used to build houses.
Well, this was built in like 2015, so it's not that long ago. But I was looking around, it's like there's no TV. Oh, there's the TV, and there was no fireplace, and this thing was like 10 inches from the ceiling. So literally, even without a fireplace, you're looking like, oh, there's my TV.
It's a weird habit, man. It's absolutely weird.
Yeah. Same with people place the BeoSound 18s on wall brackets. Like the wall bracket should be as low as maybe as possible, maybe 5 centimeters or so above the ground as maximum. But otherwise, they're just maybe too high up. Especially people will place them like a meter almost.
So in this place, if you like look at wands, the bottom of the TV more or less started at the top of the wands.
Yeah.
And it was like, geez, why would you do that? That makes no sense. It's maybe it's just me, and maybe nobody ever spends time in the living room, but I don't understand. It's what it is.
Especially now with the harmony.
Something's weird with my headphones. So messed up. You guys sound so distorted.
Oh.
Sorry.
I don't know what the fuck is happening. But when I pause, it sound like robots, and it's weird. It's hard to keep the track of conversation. But if I turn off the headphones and it goes through the speakers here, it's fine. It sounds fine. So I don't know what the hell. But or I don't know if my neighbors are microwaving or some shit. God damn it.
It could very well be.
Yeah,
but we have seen wall-mounted harmonies being too weird, because when I have a harmony on the floor and I'm sitting where I'm sitting, it's almost too high up. And will people actually have them wall-mounted and place them like even 30 or 40 centimeters above ground, is thinking to myself, God damn, there will have to be neck problems. I can't remember the Alicia Keys place. They had it pretty high up, right?
Yeah, but it was above a cabinet.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Some people install that stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But when I used to work at the shop, people would come in and they were like, why are your TVs so low? Because to a North American, that is low.
Yeah, I know. Same with the BeoVision 11. Yeah. 7
oh, you know, BB7 on the lowest floor stand? That it's basically about, I don't know, 30 centimeters off the ground. People's like, oh my God, this TV's so low. What is this we're looking at?
This is apparently a promo of B&O, so apparently we can expect more of this stuff during the year. If Blue Monday, you can have a track list by B&O.
By new order?
And I don't really get what's going on. Then you have Trent Alexander-Arnold, the Liverpool player that they did a thing with. And then here another.
This is, to me, looks like a very cheap way to generate like non-issue content.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's just what it is. Like, you know, post products pictures and in a real life installations and shit. Something that looks cool, not what is that rainbow nonsense here.
Yeah, steal my pictures. It's fine. Just annotate it. It's fine. I don't care. Just steal Henrik's pictures. He probably doesn't care either. Steal Eric's pictures. If you annotate them, you're probably fine with that.
Yeah.
I guess it's not really stealing if you do it that way, but...
No. They did it before. They asked people if they could borrow the real kind of pictures from homes and promote them. But then they just stopped. Which is a shame because they really get a good feeling of people actually did really good photos from real homes where it looks more natural comparing what it looks now. It's just weird.
Actually, looking at Alicia Keys' home, the height of the harmony is not so bad
Yes.
because the couch is
it's
pretty far away.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Or good, actually.
They actually centered it directly with the wall, so because it's the same distance from the bottom of the TV to the top. So, and if it never closes, which this one I think is set to never do, how do you do that? Do you just unplug the fucking thing, I guess?
What?
Or is it somewhere in the menu that you can keep it open for?
Oh yeah, it's just an option in the menu.
Yeah.
You don't have to have it go up and down if you don't want to.
Which that's just robs the sexy out of that TV so bad. In my eyes.
Yeah. Like little Alphonse want to watch the big TV and it takes 40 seconds to TV to fully rise itself. So, but yeah.
I don't got the content. Super Toad in lab 90s. And they didn't even change. They should have gone back there and Photoshopped that again. Bastards.
I actually think they, I found out this yesterday, they took inspiration from B&O's own webpage on 50s.
On
the what is sorry?
On the 50s. Look at how these 50s are set up.
They're all fucked up.
Yeah.
But I understand how they're showing it because this is not really a realistic room anyways, in my eyes. But they're trying to show the wood. They couldn't show the wood otherwise, right?
It's a bit naughty to show the wood.
So they gotta kind of sort of, we need to turn the speaker so it don't make no sense.
Just take a picture from it from another angle. A little bit more a quarter view or something. I mean, it's like photographing a car just in front of you. You don't do that. You get quarter inch or a quarter kind of rear view. You can see kind of all the car, the best view of the car. Here it's just wrong.
Maybe it's weird, but shouldn't they have changed this picture to one of these with the aluminium grill?
Yeah.
I
think so. They're doing too little promotion for that grill on front.
Because apparently that piece of aluminium grill is one of the hardest and most expensive things they've ever made in terms of shape and what it is.
But it really doesn't do the best when it's computer rendering.
I wonder how long it takes them to manufacture one of these things, because it's obviously CNC'd the hell out of, right? I would love to have a factory tour when that is being produced. See those freaking robots going insane.
Oh, that's a good looking speaker there. Look at it.
Just those stupid lenses should be freaking.
I don't even bother, but still, look at it. It's just amazing. Look at it.
But if you get the anthracite, is the shit colored in? The lenses and the wings, or no?
Sorry?
Which one has it? None of them have it colored wings, or and the wings, or
the gold, right?
Yeah, and the bronze as well.
The bronze as well, yeah.
Here the all the other colors have matching wings and bottom plate.
Yeah, but you pay 5,000 extras for it, and then you don't get it.
Yeah. Good on you, B&O. Yes.
Wow.
So it looks more natural when it's actually the same color, but I don't mind it. But still, when you're paying extra for it, why the hell should you just not have? Yeah, it's just so wrong.
So this is the ugly ass gold, but even the gold one has the same
It's not a
matching lens and
it's not a
Flutter.
ugly ass gold. It's just the gold.
yeah, it's
You
not
like
nice.
gold?
Good balanced gold.
Okay, I need a new poll.
I'm always in a
Poll is-
minority, so
What are you looking for polling now?
he just wants to say that he's right and I'm wrong.
Not really. I know what I think of it, and I will never ever buy it. I would rather buy the copper. What is it? Bronze edition than the brass or this gold shit.
How come that I put awesome and there's no 0 votes on that one? There we go.
Because everything's going to you.
I mean, this color is
Atrocious. I don't like it at all. Take it off the screen already.
I really like it because the balance of the
Of course you do.
the tone of the cover of it and also the light oak on the rear is, yeah, I think it looks great. Especially in
like
Scandinavian homes when they have that light wood touch in your home, it would look great.
Don't like it.
No,
Don't like it at all.
Yeah,
I guess that's everybody else's opinion or whoever.
Yeah, but
what, right? Like I don't.
Yeah, but you like your dark.
I like the aluminium and dark woods. They contrast nice in my eyes, right?
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
some people they like other stuff.
I
which
like
is
it both.
fine.
Yeah,
But here, like in where I live now in Alberta, there is 0 people that I know that ever bought like any gold speakers. Like even buying like red lab 9s back in the day was considered like, holy fuck, these people are like out there, right? And buy a red BB7 and shit.
The coral or the purple Bela ones.
well, good for you. There's BLUP 28 in gold now as well.
Yeah,
Are
which
you
is
gonna...
also as I see here, it's kind of
Like they look nice in that
Yeah.
setup, which I honestly I would never live in that kind of a place because to me that's just not. It's too traditional, too freaking.
no, but you get the sense of that light wood floor and kind of white, so you get that kind of so it doesn't really striking in aluminium or dark or something. It just blends in very well. So and comparing to what kind of other furniture you have, if you have kind of light oak something furniture, it blends in very well. So yeah,
there's a level in the background
if you have these next to a black TV, a big screen, it would
like you gotta go with it. Like if you commit to gold in that room, then everything should be good. Like the accents and it should complement one another, right? It's
there. I think there's a picture of these speakers complementing the Beogram 4000C or whatever we call it.
Yeah.
So.
But that's the normal aluminium version, not the gold one.
Is it?
Yeah.
There was one picture where they actually made it a fold, or I think it was like maybe a store that have the gold ones and didn't have the right covers for it. Because you see the fabric cover, here's some light beige color of it, and someone did the regular gray one, and it didn't really look as good. I think Olufsen in Helsingborg. Yeah, there you have it. But there was some other pictures to it also. I will see. But
it's actually not bad. I don't know what's not matching there. Like it's all the same wood, isn't it? I don't think the table is. Yeah. But yeah, that's classic B&O right there, man. That looks hot to me. I like it.
I like that the conversation that I had with the person that sent it from a BeoSound account that it's not viewable anymore because it has been shut down or something. So it isn't available right now. So I have seen it, but we can't share it. I think it was the BeoSound that I think it's German or from some place that's often do this kind of big no-nos. They're showing stuff too early or showing stuff that you can't
Hey,
really...
John.
Evening, John.
He's got his 10 minutes free. Right on, buddy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, this looks good, but the gold is like,
To me, it's just, it doesn't strike anything. I don't know. But like I said, there are cultures that prefer gold, right? And that's what they go by.
Quite interesting from the Denon store that you get 28.
In Denon?
Being a Warsaw, but it's called the Denon store.
Interesting.
I don't know. Are we still like fully what you call it divided on the wall brackets for 28s? Because I kind of like them.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the best looking version, but
no, but I mean, they work.
I don't like it. I don't like it, and it's not gonna work well in North America with this paper ass walls, dude.
No, that's why I think it's more of
like this
that technical issue with it, but rather than being the look of it. So
my biggest
the look of
concern
it,
would
I
be
don't
as an
mind,
installer.
but,
my biggest concern as an installer would be how long are they gonna stay on that wall? Because let's say it's not a perfect scenario and you can't hit a stud, right, for at least one or a few screws that I don't even know how many there are to put in. But you can't use drywall anchors because they will eventually vibrate out, like I've been learning with my shape, which is nowhere near as heavy as this. And there's 6 freaking screws per tile. And they are starting to go, especially around where the speaker drivers are or the speaker tiles are. So for this, like, what do you use? Toggler bolts, right? So you drill these big holes and you put this little thing that, basically stops against, and you zip tie it in, and then you screw a screw. But then what do you do? Loctite or what? Because that's going to also rattle out at some point.
Yeah, it has to be Loctite, because otherwise, as you say,
Loctite
just
red.
Yeah.
Oh fuck no.
No, but
no.
Don't you have these toggle bolts with the nylon washer rings in them? I think
Not
I
sure
have.
What you mean?
Like where the end of the thread is that nylon. You have that sort of washer at the end, so it makes it very hard to tighten anything, but it can't really back out unless you put some serious force on it.
Yeah. But that's not gonna work, because you're screwing it into the wall where that plate is, and screw goes through it and it tightens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing that you can wrench on. I know exactly what you're saying, but that won't work. You'd have to have that welded on the back end of the toggler bolt. Then you have to have even a bigger fucking hole. I don't have the toggler bolts here, like what I'm talking about, because I have all the tools and such in a theater right now in my client's home. But that's something that I would be really concerned about, that over time these speakers will start to become loose on the wall.
I was actually thinking, to replace my 18s at the rear that I have wall mounted, to replace them with wall mounted 28s was just no, because first of all, to actually place them, as you say, securely with that base driver and all that movement that these produce more over the 18s is just not durable for the long term. And also that to have, as I'm sitting now in the office, there's also a guest room, and also on the other side is Alfon's room, to have 2 6.5-inch woofer pounding on that wall. It's not good. So yeah, it had to be floor stands all around.
So for me,
I guess one thing you could also do is you have construction glue that comes in like the squirt thing bottles, right?
Yeah, silicone.
Yeah, you if you have a silicone based construction glue, if you put that on the bolts, that should give that added friction for vibration, and you can still get them in and out, but they shouldn't just like vibrate out, because that silicone will catch the sort of wobble. Now, it's a totally different thing if over time, like your plaster in America starts working, because that's a different problem. I've had that in the one place where I had one wall that was like that. Like
the plaster, like the old school with the lattice and shit?
No. Like the sheetrock boards.
Yeah.
Like over time with vibrations and things, you could keep on tightening stuff a bit because just weight of things was pushing and like it's not as solid. You're first thing's probably to do with like American style walls is put a block of wood behind it.
Yeah, but then you're fucking up the whole wall, right? You might as well now. Okay, so if we're doing this, you might as well open everything up, put even 3/4 inch plywood at that point, screw it in from the studs, right? Run the wires properly, because if you put a small hole in the wall, you might as well put a big fucking hole in the wall, because at that point, that whole entire wall has to get painted anyways, because you're not just going to roll a little patch there. It looks like shit because the color's different a little bit than everything else. You have to roll the whole fucking thing again, right?
The thing that had to do with my studio apartment, that was just these kind of bad walls, was just to have like a, as you say, a plywood that just mounted on the wall and place a TV on that.
You know, if it's something that like you're doing a brand new build or a reno or something, infill, and you have time and chance to go in, and client knows what they want, or they bought the speakers, or they already own the shit, and then there's fucking no problem whatsoever, man. Because I wouldn't even do plywood. I would just fucking like double 2x6 into the and that thing is not that's gonna fall with the house at that point. But and then you can center everything, because that's the worst part about, like, I come across this so much in here when you want to center something in the wall, but fucking you miss a stud by like this much on that side and by this much on that side, right? And shit, now what? So sometimes you just gotta eat the crowd, man, and fucking open the wall up, and you know, this is what it is. Like, you're buying $20,000 speakers. What's another fucking $1,500 in or not even 1,500? It's too much money. Like, you know, $500-600 to get a contractor to come in and paint your fucking wall after I'm done with it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like to do taping and such. I know how to do it, but I'm not an expert, and I don't think I should cost you my money's worth time in doing plastering your walls and shit when you can hire some no-brainer that can come in there and just do that. So, but that's the problem, and here, right? And then lots of times it dictates, because you tell people, okay, well, we need to open up the wall. Oh my God, what? Oh, we have to open a wall. It's a disaster now, right? Like, well, it's not like I'm gonna take your daughter in the backyard and shoot it in the head. Like, we need to put a fucking hole in the wall to put a plug in there, okay? That's just what has to happen. And or sometimes you gotta just, you know, access hole or something, so then you just blank plate it. It looks like a, you know, unused plug. So there's sometimes you just gotta freaking do it, man. And people get so scared. Oh Lord, we have to. Oh, this is so much work with painting, and it's not that bad, for God's sakes. So, see you, Prestige.
Have a good one.
Yeah, it's just it also depends on it. More or less, it's like sometimes the installs are like doctor coming out to present the bad news, right? But at the end, the patient will live. So,
isn't that hard to find studs generally? Because aren't they generally 16 inches on center in North America?
Some are 24. If you go to some cheap ass builds, they're 24 inches on center, and that's cheaper ways, right, to build houses. But the outside walls were always going to be 16s, but the inside walls, some of them are 24 inches, and that's not now shit. Like, that's a lot of gap between anything, right?
Yeah.
Especially basements are always 24 inch.
Probably the newer stuff is also with that aluminium studding crap that hang any weight on it and it bends, really.
Well, that's only on commercial, right? Which I don't understand the logic behind it.
I've seen it indoors here on interior walls.
Really? No, that's not a thing. That's for regular house construction. It's all wood. They only put this shit in buildings like these commercial ones, because I think it's much cheaper to build with, less mess, because you have no cuts, right? Well, you have cutaways, but it's just a piece of tin that, you know, they snip off with snips, so you don't have to have serious power tools and shit, and that's it. Like, it's a very cheap way and very fast way to build stuff. It's also more fire resistant. The only thing that I don't agree with is that, like, if you have some sort of an electrical short somewhere, then your entire skeleton is fucking live, right? because it's all metal. So that's the only thing that and also it's soft as shit. Like you push on it and you can see the wall breathe. Like since I hung the B1 on the table above the kitchen island, my entire line of silicone is separated. And in the old apartment, it literally was by 2 mils out. Like this TV pushed the whole fucking wall in with the studs. Over time they bent. So yeah.
That's one thing I definitely can't deal with there for sure. Like I would, if not for anything else, insulate all the interior walls because I can't stand
the hollow walls.
Yeah, because they let so much sound through.
Of course,
indeed, yeah.
Like it's like it's a wall and you can't walk through it, but you can pretty much punch through it if you wanted to. It's not.
You can hear through it,
fall over it, and yes, fall through it. Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's like that. That knowing that it's not solid at all is disturbing to me.
Yeah.
Welcome to North America, pal.
Well, yes,
well, no, in Florida, everything past what is it, 96 is concrete blocks, basically.
Where, here? Or where you
Florida.
are? Oh.
Like, it depends on where you are.
Well, I guess because they got a little bit more windy situations there than we get.
I mean, California is also way different again. Because all the walls have to be earthquake-proof and whatnot.
Yeah.
So they're like crazy overbuilt there, and like you have giant angle iron in all the corners of every wall to keep it upright, just in case it shakes.
That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's I guess in the Midwest a lot of, but you're more or less in the Midwest of Canada. All the houses are sort of like, well, if it deals with snow, that's kind of fine, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, the only thing here, it's an insulation problem. Not a problem, but it is a problem because the older houses are not, and then that's why like most of the houses that are older are now becoming infilled and being torn down. It's so compartmentalized. There's such a closed concept because you could only heat one room at a time, type of thing. So yeah, those houses are terrible to work with, and they have the plaster lattice, so it's basically planks hammered onto the studs, and then they're plastered over.
Well, at least you can hang stuff on that.
Holy fuck, dude! Do you ever, like, if you try to drill into that, it just starts to crumble up. It's the most impossible thing to deal with.
Yeah, okay, but back in the day, if you just hung a picture frame, right, you took a nail and just tapped it in. But with like the modern day plasterboard, if you put a nail in and hang a picture, it just like pulls straight through.
Yeah.
At least with those lattices, it would hang into something.
But it's absolutely the most terrible thing to work with, because even if you cut a hole for access, right, with your hand, then you're cutting the shit out of your hand on the wood splinters, right? It's I absolutely despise working with it, but that's just what it is.
I remember my girlfriend did that in our old apartment. She thought that at least you could hang a painting on the wall. Nope. Because of just, as you said, just.
Yeah, Brian just he went through a lot of the same trouble with his house, solid walls now. UK houses they tend to be like solid on the outside, but then like from the outer exterior wall, the whole inner frame is like American, so it like creaks and makes noise.
Yeah, you have the brick wall, then you have this empty space,
and then a wooden frame that's also kind of like
See, like North American style of building, I like it because
it's easy to redo.
It's easy to redo, but it's very easy to just cheat. Like, you can make stuff look wireless, basically, because you can hide shit in the walls, where for you, it's a completely different, can of soup, because you got to now chisel channels into the concrete all the way to where it's supposed to go.
This isn't ideal either, no.
so that's, or
it's easier to hide uranium and...
Or you lose square footage in your house by simply thickening the walls or building a fake folks wall on top of it, or so you can hide shit behind it, right? But then, like I said, you're losing on square footage in the house because it does add up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but it's that's what's fun about knowing the tricks of the trade, especially like me being involved in construction years and years and years ago, and also from the architectural standpoint, it's easy to see. Can we put a cable through there? Probably not. Or through here, yeah, that could go or work. Sometimes it's just from like one edge from the screen to the other edge of the screen is 2 hours of work because it's just so hard to like push through some or whatever. But that also comes with how good tools you got.
I remember something like 15 years ago. I worked construction, and I had to take all the tiles off a bathroom in this like 1925 house here in the city somewhere, and took all the tiles off, and it was under the roof. Like a lot of bathrooms here are like normal like that, but then the roof slopes like that.
See you, John.
Bye, John. Have a good one. Make sure the girls don't set your house on fire. But the last tile came off, and it's like, that's a bit weird. Like, I saw a wobble. So I look over in the wood, and it's like, oh, this is a piece of the wall that's just loose. From the exterior wall. So the tile of the bathroom was on a single brick wall, which was the outside, and they were wondering why it was always cold in there. Like, there was literally no insulation other than it was airtight.
Yeah.
It's like, bloody hell. Like, houses were shit back in the day.
Yeah.
Man, I remember like the block of flats right back in the yesteryears of communism. It was all concrete. You could hear everybody still for some reason, and like the central unit was all made out of this like very flimsy. I don't even know. I think it was MDF. It was like the shit that you have on the back of the IKEA cabinet. You know what I mean? That flimsy wood.
Yeah. Almost
So
cork.
that was and that was the bathroom built out of that. Like it was all soft and stuff. Like there is no hanging shit on that. But the rest was all you had to freaking drill hard anchors and so on and so forth.
By the way, Michael, do you have problems hearing your neighbors and all that when you live in your concrete bunker?
No, only contact noise. So air noise is basically inaudible unless there's an open channel somewhere. As in, like, if you're shouting directly down the main ventilation shaft, something like that.
Yeah.
But if I don't know, let's say I start screaming here on the top of my lungs, my neighbors won't hear that. Like, they maybe... Like,
nobody coming to help your ass.
No. But if I take like anything metal and tap on this wall, like the whole fucking building will hear that.
Yeah. But you have no neighbors complaining about the 50s.
No, absolutely not.
No.
It's bizarre. Like, I would have expected that by now because it's been on quite loud, quite late, quite often. Nobody cares. Not even a letter. Not even like, what are you doing? Nothing.
I guess it would be different with the bill of fives, maybe.
Yeah, fives would be pushing down towards the ground a little more. That would transfer.
I do have well, it's not super special, but an uncommon type of floor. So you know how you have that green felt underlayment stuff.
So
it's like these sorts of things you have to lay down in apartments, and they're like minus 10 dB for contact noise. They're about 8 mil thick or something. Well, that's mandatory. So I thought, well, if that's mandatory, I looked at floors, and the floor I have is one of those sort of click floors, but it's cork, wood, cork, and then a laminate on top, which by the floor by itself is supposed to take out about minus 20 dB of contact noise and everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I'm saving my downstairs neighbor mostly. But it wasn't that much more expensive, really. It was, I don't know, maybe €200 more compared to, and that's for the whole apartment because it's all all in one go. There's like no steps in door openings or anything.
Yeah, open floor plan. Yeah.
So
well, here you have two different apartment type constructions, right? Like anything I think up to 5 or 4 floors will be built out of wood. Anything above that is built out of concrete. That was one of my biggest prerequisites when I was looking for a place. Like, and I knew not what I'm going into, but I knew what I'm going to be bringing into the apartment.
Yeah.
The 90s weren't even out at the time, and I knew I'm going to get some big speakers and shit. But when I was looking around, like there was the number one was conduit, and number two must be concrete.
What did you have before the 90s? Can't really remember.
Everything. Before the 90s, I had Lab 5s for a while. I had Lab 9s for a long time. Because that was kind of, it looked cool with the TV, which was DV9. And when I moved in 2016, when I moved here, I was already fucked because I already went once to Denmark in 2015. So I already knew at that point that this apartment will have the 90s in them. I just had to figure out how to afford them. And then, work was just busy, like crazy busy. And got to the point, I'm like, fuck, I could actually buy these speakers. So I did. And before that, I really didn't have anything in here. I had a pair of 17s. That's what I was listening to before. And then I was rotating a whole bunch of speakers through here just to listen to whatever. But yeah, as soon as I could, which was December for my birthday, I bought them in 2016. So now they're 5 years old.
Yeah.
But and then once the shape came out, I knew that that's what's going to end up in my bedroom because I'm like, fucking love this thing, man. And I'm like, maybe I'll put the 18s in there, right? With the wood, it looks good on it complements the walnut on the Herman Miller furniture and stuff. But then I'm like, well, fuck, I can get more wood everywhere. So then I bought Herman Miller furniture for the living room, and off
it's
it
not
goes.
hard to get more wood. I mean,
no, it's not, and it's just like it fucking spirals out of control a little bit. Then after a while, with everything with me, I guess the same thing like the Alvar Alto bases. I was packing them up, like holy fuck, I got a lot of them, and I still forgot one. I still forgot to pack one because my coffee is in it.
So, yeah, I think I have 3 or 4 less than you have in different sizes, but it's
I have
why,
4
man?
of the white. I have 4 white ones, which are like from smallest to the biggest.
Yeah, me too.
And then I have the
tall and skinny one, the kind of fatter one, and the really
short fatty.
The short,
And then I have the clear shorty, tan shorty,
blue one,
And then I have a clear fatty for the coffee still out there.
Yeah.
I love those vases, but that was just like a freaking obsession. And boom, I left like $3,000 in the store. Fucking hell, what is that all about? Why we put this up?
28 in gold up close in real life, not.
But that have to be brass, right? But
that fabric looks like a sock.
Oh, that's the gray one.
People, you voted mostly correctly. 65% said gold is ew.
Not the majority, though. Almost. Not that close.
Well, it's about 2/3, 1/3, but it's like,
It's not a landslide, but yeah. But here you say you see the wrong fabric here. You don't have the beige fabric here. You have the gray one or white gray. But here the gold almost looks brass.
Cheap to me. It looks cheap to me, the fabric.
Yeah, to me too.
Yeah. But here it almost looks brass. Are you sure it's not brass colored?
Pretty sure the gold and brass is so close anyway. Yeah,
not
gold
in
tone.
the remotes.
Yeah, gold tone. Yeah.
Yeah, because the remotes are way different. The brass one is just so much darker. It's more closer to the bronze one.
No, it's the gold tone. It's new.
They never did the brass one.
So more or less everything's going to be available in gold. So you have to buy a new remote soon because you'll have a gold BeoRemote 1. And most likely they'll come out with a gold halo as well.
I already had the gold remote one.
There's going to be another golden one.
Not the
You
rose
know,
gold.
the hair will
The
come.
gold is like, oh, no.
He's got older remotes now, don't you?
Yes, still have them. So the regular aluminium that I already have 2 of, so yeah.
Yeah, but those are like your daily beaters, right?
Yeah. My friend who bought the
It's like this
LG
whole
screen with a stage, and it's like, do you have a remote? Yeah.
It's like this whole house fake. Like, bloody hell, just rent a house like this for a fucking week and put in speakers. Or dummies, but don't render them, please. This looks so fake.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed it does, yeah.
Again, if you know these speakers, this bottom 50 is pointed at the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, what's up with this weird lineup of speakers? Like, supposedly you sit here on the right, but the left speaker, the left front speaker is literally pointed towards the right front speaker, which is across the room. So where my mouse cursor is now is more or less where the sweet spot would be for stereo.
Yeah, but they're just for display's sake. That's why.
Yeah, but they're rendered. This is not real. Like, why can't you render it properly? What the fuck?
Yeah, the shadows are all over the place. Well, there isn't really any.
No.
The Noguchi table has a shadow.
Maybe the only thing is real, that place.
Even if it's advertising, like, especially when it's not real, you can put this in the room any which way you want. You can fucking ceiling mount it and say we've come up with a ceiling mount and just fucking lie. But
I think they're doing it because it's way more cost efficient to just take a picture of a nice room and not having monkeys coming in there and assembling the whole fucking TV and the shebang, and just, here you go, Joey or Lars, whatever the fuck his name is, render these in there and that's it.
Everyone's called Christian. Yeah.
Or Christian, yeah, like whatever, somebody with the freaking Photoshop skills. Here you go.
Yeah.
You have a bloody Bio home. Go in there and take pictures, for crying out loud.
Yeah, but then you would have still the same background and same environment, right?
Yeah.
Who
By the
cares?
way,
It's a Bio home. It's the aspirational home they set
I
up.
think they should do it the other way. I think they should take pictures of real product behind the green screen and then just throw bullshit on behind the background. That's what I think. But
yeah, you could do it the other way.
But I think that people also, like, they need to see the sexy of the speaker and show the sexy of the speaker. So they're turning them all fucked up weird ways, but you'll never have that in the house if you have a proper installer type of thing, or anybody that has any clue about what, sound is supposed to be like. Which I would suggest, or I would suppose, that if you are working for a B&O dealer as an installer or somebody that sets these things up, because obviously it's not just a salesman going in there, you have a fucking clue. I mean, you better have a fucking clue.
If any of you guys that are still around with us are on Instagram, you should look at the B&O stores in Japan, because they look fucking amazing. Like, the setup is to the nth degree, like you would expect it. And I mean, this is not like what is set up here is like, oh, this is just a showroom. This is not even like high perfection or anything. But all the Japanese shops look fucking fantastic.
As they should do, yeah.
But that's Japanese for you, though.
Yeah,
man.
but like,
they just strive that.
Where do all the
perfection.
cameras get made? Japan. All the new cameras. Have them take a fucking picture. Like, it's not hard.
Nope.
They're dealers. They have all this shit just standing there.
Yeah, they do. But
by the way, guys, do you think you're gonna close calling it?
We'll call it. We'll call it on this note. Mike is getting angry at dealers now. So.
No, I'm not. I'm happy with dealers. It's fucking, Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Smash that like button. We still need 1 to get to 30. So.
Oh, we got 30 already. No,
we do. It's my counter says 29.
All right. right. Well,
So thank you all for
doesn't count
watching.
my vote.
We'll be back tomorrow on Twitch and here for the YouTube members.
Limited.
So thank you, members. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. Eric, have a good week too. Henrik was sick, in case anybody didn't notice. But so anyway, we'll roll the outro. Have a good week, everybody. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. And bye.
Bye.
That button.
You know, when this long night will fade away, and we go back to our old ways, two perfect strangers in the skies. When the sun is going to stretch its arms on the road, turn us again with his shrill call into perfect strangers in disguise. But until then,